Hey guys, Courtney here with Courtney's Customs, and today I am doing my first Q&A, which I am super excited about. I thought about and I really wanted to do it live, but I was so nervous that if I went live and I was like Q&A time, that like, I don't know, nobody would really have any questions or anything, so I got really nervous. So I posted in my community tab that I was wanting to do a Q&A. If you have any questions, please comment, and I got a lot more response than I was expecting, so I'm really excited to answer these questions. Most of it is business, some of it is personal, and I'm ready to answer them all, so let's go. Alright, so I'm going to have like a picture off to the side somewhere showing the comment so you guys can kind of read along with it. But the first comment here is from T. Turner, and it says, I would really love to hear the steps you took on the business side to start your own tumbler business. How hard was it? How long did it take, etc.? So it took about, I'm coming up on my third year in August. It'll be 3 years in August. So it probably took 2 years before I wanted to get my LLC, and I wanted to get my LLC because I wanted to just have everything protected legally. And whenever you go to file your taxes, you know, thankfully this year, or really the beginning of this year, last year, whatever you want to call it, when I filed 2021 taxes, my tax lady was asking, you know, do you have a business ID number? So thankfully, you know, when I got my LLC, I got my business ID number, all of that good stuff. So it made filing taxes a lot easier, and having that separate like business account from my personal account, and having like the website. I didn't even get my website really until like a year ago. I did my first year and a half literally working like 7 days a week doing custom orders, and I was so burnt out and I was exhausted, so I quit the custom orders. And I made the website where I just do like ready to ship items. I create what I want to create. A lot of the stuff that I do for YouTube tutorials is on there. Another question was, how hard was it? I definitely don't want to say it was easy. Nothing about running a business or starting a business, maintaining a business is easy. It takes a heck of a lot to keep it maintained, because it's not just like the Tumblr side of it. It's all of the social media sides of it too. So you got to have multiple social medias to kind of keep your products out there and keep your name out there so people know who you are, and people want to buy your products because they see funny videos on TikTok or just like a really cool video on your Instagram or pictures or whatever. So it is definitely hard, but I definitely do suggest getting your LLC. Alright, so this next one is from Deanna West. Girl, you comment on my stuff all the time and I love it. You are like my biggest hype girl. You're always commenting on my stuff. You're like the first to comment all the time. I want to let you know that I see that and I appreciate it. Thank you so much. But she's got like multiple different questions here. So the first one is, what made you want to start crafting? I made my first tumbler probably a few weeks after my second child was born. I went through postpartum depression really bad, and I needed kind of like an escape. So like when the kids would go to bed, this was something, you know, that I could just pour all of the what energy I had left into, and have a lot of fun with it. And it just kind of helped me shift gears in my mind a little bit. So I mean, I didn't do anything else before this. I went straight into tumblers. I didn't do any other craft like shirts or wreaths or the billions of other different things you can do out there. I went straight to tumblers and I instantly fell in love with it. Do you have a favorite item you've made so far? I don't have it with me because it was actually a custom order. I made this rose gold Milky Way tumbler, and I mean, there's no decal on it, there's nothing, but I don't do Milky Ways very well. Like, I feel like my Milky Way tumblers just are not up to par with everybody else's, and that one turned out so stinking pretty. And when I think of my favorite item, that's the first thing that pops in my head. She also asked, since the pandemic, what have you learned about yourself? I've learned that I can be artsy. I mean, before this, like I said, I didn't do any other craft. I didn't make t-shirts, I didn't paint, I didn't draw. I don't have any art background, aside from Art 1 in high school, and that was like required. Like, I had to take an art class, and it was not really like creating anything. It was more of like learning about like primary colors and secondary colors, and like there would be a little bit of drawing in here somewhere, but like I don't have an art background, so I never knew that I could create any type of art, and that's what I learned about myself during the pandemic. She also asked, what's your favorite color? Purple! I love purple. I love all shades of purple, but mainly I love like the soft lavender, like the color of my walls back here. I love purple. Alright, another multi-part question here from Jody Peterson. The first question is, when did you start making tumblers? Kind of repeating what I said with Deanna's question. I started making tumblers a few weeks after my son was born in 2019. It was August of 2019, like late August of 2019 is when I started making tumblers. What keeps you motivated to keep going when you feel defeated or have a negative comment? Honestly, I get a lot more negative comments than I let people know about, and they used to really like crush my feelings in the beginning, but I feel like that's just part of being a content creator. Unfortunately, you're gonna have a million people, which I don't have a million, but you know what I mean, you're gonna have a million people saying like, such beautiful work, we love you, you're so funny, or you're so kind, or we love your channel, and then there's gonna be the 10 people over here that are saying really mean things and trying to bring you down. I went through a really rough time last year on TikTok. I was brutally verbally attacked on TikTok, and it was really hard. I got very emotional in a live video in my Patreon group one evening about it, and it hurt my soul. But what keeps me going is that I have come really far in this business. I mean, I come from a very tiny town. Nobody around here does this. You tell somebody you're a full-time YouTuber, they look at you like you've got 6 eyes. And so this is not very common around here. So honestly, I've come way too far to let people's negative comments bring me down, because I have 1,000 times more people that are lifting me up with every video and every picture and every Facebook post, and really that's what keeps me going. What would you tell someone who wants to start a YouTube channel? Do it. Oh my gosh, do it. It has been the best thing ever. I was not about it. I had wanted nothing to do with it. I'm socially awkward. Like, if you meet me in person, I'm very socially awkward. So I wanted nothing to do with YouTube. My husband is actually the one that was like, you need to do it, you need to do it, because I forget exactly what it was, but I was scrolling through YouTube in my very early days of creating tumblers, and I was trying to figure out how to do something, and I could not find it. Eventually, I just kind of made my own way, and I figured out how to do it, and that's why my husband was like, you need to make a YouTube channel, because you can make tutorials for people that might be trying to find a certain design or a style or whatever. And I did not want to do it, but I'm telling you, it is so rewarding, and it's so much fun. It's a heck of a lot of work, and I'm not gonna lie, it can be a little daunting sometimes, and like there's days where I come out here and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't want to film, I don't want to do anything, and I'll have to step away from it for the rest of the evening and come back and like I'm good to go. But it is so much fun. I love it. I love helping people, and the fact that I can help people, like complete strangers, thousands and thousands of complete strangers that I've never met, is awesome. What's your favorite thing to do when you're not making tumblers? Definitely spending time with my family. I have 2 kids and my husband, and I am in this shed a lot, like a lot of hours every day I'm in here. So when I'm not working, the best thing to do is spend time with them. Actually, I had a little bit more that I needed to do in here today, but after this I'm going to cut it off, and me and my husband are taking our kids out to this place where they have, like, you walk in and there's a big shelf. It's just lining the walls, and it's got like different blank clay sculptures on it, like unicorns and dinosaurs and stuff like that, and your kids can go pick one out and sit at the table and paint them, and they epoxy over them, and you can pick them up in a week. So we're gonna take the kids there, and then we're gonna go across the street to the ice cream shop. So absolutely, spending time with my babies is my absolute favorite thing. Alright, next question comes from Trisha Manning. What were some of your struggles when making tumblers in the beginning? It seems like there's not a lot of mention of wobble around the bottom or fish eyes, and what to do to prevent it or fix it when it happens. Definitely some of my struggles. When I go back and I look at like my old tumblers that I used to make, they just didn't look good. That's with everybody that starts. Like, literally everybody starts somewhere, and you look at a cup they made in their first month of making tumblers, and then you look at a tumbler that they made recently, and it's like, oh my gosh, so much growth. So my biggest problems were my ombres, or not ombres, they were just like straight lines from color to color, and my husband doesn't let me live it down. And then not having my own workspace until I got the shed. But when it comes to fish eyes, I never really struggle with fish eyes. I feel like that is a mixture of maybe like not mixing your epoxy completely or correctly before you apply it to the tumbler, and a mix of like temperature, like it might be too hot or too cold in the room, or maybe you applied too much heat with a torch or a heat gun and that could have caused some fish eyes. But I never really struggled with fish eyes, so I don't know a whole lot about it, but definitely what she called a wobble around the bottom. I'm assuming you mean when it's like really thick around the bottom or the top. Mine, it used to be like that, and it's because my turners were not level. So my turners, instead of being like completely level, they might have been this way like just the tiniest bit, and I didn't even really notice. And so whenever I put epoxy on, it might have went around the tumbler nice and smooth, but it also ran down a little bit, so it caused a big lip. So definitely make sure your turners are 100,000 billion% level. Next question is from Susan Angove. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. Susan, she says, I'm new at tumbler making. I'm currently on my 3rd tumbler. I get a little overwhelmed by all of the different techniques. Do you ever feel that way when you first started? Yes. And the thing is, I still do. Not so much with tumbler techniques, but I mean, sometimes there's a lot of new designs that kind of just like pop up out of nowhere, and it's like, holy crap, I have to stay like up to date with everything. But even like the different TikTok trends and the different Instagram reel trends and stuff like that, there's always a trend going on, and you always want to keep up with it so you can kind of like just stay up to date with everything, stay in the loop. So I still to this day kind of feel overwhelmed with some of the things, but being completely new with tumblers, there are billions and billions and billions of designs and techniques and everything that you can do. I would say to kind of keep yourself a little more calm and not get so overwhelmed about it, take a piece of paper, a notepad, whatever, type it on your phone, whatever is best for you, and jot down 5 designs or techniques that you're really wanting to do, like full glitter, glitter ombre, hydro dip, Milky Way, tattoo tumblers. Make a list of 5 and don't focus on anything but those 5. Get them down, check them off of your list, you know, so you can say that you've done it and you've mastered it and it looked great, and kind of just keep your eye on that the list of 5 that you made, and not so much about everything that's buzzing around constantly around you in the tumbler world, because there's always going to be something, there's always going to be new ideas, and you're going to get even more overwhelmed. So just make a list and stick to those 5. Jen's Little Place asks, what's your favorite tumbler you've made? Back to the Rose Gold Milky Way, I'm going to post a picture somewhere. I really hope that I am able to do it, because I'm really not good with technology, but I'm going to try to put it somewhere. And yes, that Rose Gold Milky Way, I wish I could have kept it for myself. It is my absolute favorite. Pam Tilson Rogers asks, yes, could you please come to Alabama and craft with me? You said anything. Love your videos. They are always so helpful. Thanks for making videos and sharing them so I can learn. You're awesome. Thank you so much, Pam. I would love, listen, if I could do some sort of meet and greet, let me know if you guys would come. I would have to figure out like where to go, how to do it, what I need for it, what to do, just with the whole thing. I would love to do some sort of meet and greet. I couldn't make it to TumblerCon. My heart is breaking because of it, but I couldn't make it to TumblerCon this year. I know a lot of people are going there, but I would absolutely love to meet you guys. If I could organize some sort of meet and greet, let me know if you would come. Dorothy Silver asks, did you create your logo or did you have someone make it for you? I love your videos. I've watched all of them. Thank you, Dorothy, so much. I did not create my logo. Get on Instagram. There is a page called That Little Logo Lady, and she made my logo. She is absolutely fantastic. She had it done within a few days. I forget how much it was exactly, but I do remember I had to put down like a $20 deposit, I think it was, and then once it was done and I approved of it, I just sent the rest of the money. But she's awesome. She's so sweet, so kind. She'll send you a logo with a transparent background, a logo with a white background behind it. So yeah, That Little Logo Lady on Instagram, go check her out. Sabrina Hobson asks, how do you determine the pricing for your tumblers? The pricing, my pricing, I feel like is a lot different from other people's, because I live in such a tiny little town, and something that I might charge $35 for, somebody in Beverly Hills would charge $80 for. I don't know, I'm just throwing numbers and locations out there, but you know what I mean? Like, I live in a very tiny town. My last vendor event that I went to, this man actually walked by and he looked down, and I had a Christmas tumbler and it was like $45 or something like that, and he looked down and he said, $45 for a cup? There ain't no way, blah 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 blah. It's really, really hard when you live in a tiny town because people do not want to spend that much for a cup. I know you guys probably hear that a lot. I hear that a lot. It drives me insane. But I just kind of go off of the cost of the tumbler. So if I order from Makerflow, let's say, I think a 20 ounce is like $6.85 or something like that. So we'll round it up to $7. So $7 for a tumbler. Measure out the epoxy that you're using for that cup. If you're using any extras like ice toppers, if you're adding things like Marabou Easy Marble, just kind of gathering up the prices of all the materials that you're using plus your time and determining a price from that. But just the biggest thing for me is to remember that, hey, the cup itself was $7. So like, I want to make a substantial amount more than $7 on my cup. And this is a long one, but I think that's an Asbury, I believe. I'm sorry. But she said, I believe you're the one who created a tumbler years ago with a color called Dreamsicle Glitter, and I want to say it was somewhere out of Florida. I believe it was mostly hands in your video, but for some reason I remember your cups, clear plastic cups and one sticks. That is, it's probably me. I've been trying to locate you forever because I'd like to start creating cups to help support my son's schooling and activities. I saw something where you said you first had a small amount of glitter from Holy World, and I'm guilty as charged. Now, what's the next step? How do I use Mod Podge on glass and then move on to epoxy? And from there to stainless steel and epoxy. Thank you so much for sharing your videos. Love them, and I'm glad I found you again. Oh, and this time I made sure to hit subscribe. Oh my goodness, I want to say that the tumbler I made with Dreamsicle, if the color came from Florida, it was definitely the glitter grind. But I feel like it was a mermaid scale tumbler, and I put Dreamsicle on the bottom and the top and kind of like ombre it a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to go back and search that, but definitely the clear plastic cups and the wooden sticks, that is definitely me. So I've never done any glass cups, but I know there is dishwasher safe Mod Podge, and a lot of people that do the wine tumblers, or not even the wine tumblers, the wine glasses, they will put on a decal with vinyl or water slide, and they will put just like multiple layers of this dishwasher safe Mod Podge on it, and that'll kind of seal it. I've never done that. I've never put epoxy on glass, but I mean, I'm assuming it would be the same thing as putting epoxy on stainless steel. You know, you're going to want to put it on your tumbler turner, you're going to want to secure it with a pool noodle or whatever you're shoving in there to keep it on your tumbler turner. But do your research, watch YouTube videos, whether it be mine, Myra Makes It, Jessica Flynn, Duncan Custom Airbrush, anybody's YouTube channel that you want to watch. Do your research, watch videos, and really make sure that you know exactly what you're doing when it comes to the epoxy, because we all know that epoxy can be pretty dangerous if you're not, you know, wearing your proper PPE, if that sort of thing. So definitely do your research, and you can always email me. I do have my email in my about section here on my YouTube channel. If you have any questions whatsoever, you want me to dive deeper into something, or you just need some help on anything, you can email me and I will definitely email you back. And that concludes my first Q&A. How fun was that? That was really fun. Like, I want to do that again, but maybe live next time. I feel like that would be really fun. I'll maybe have to just like post in the YouTube community tab that like, hey, Friday at whatever time I'm gonna go live and do a Q&A, have your questions ready or whatever. That was really fun. Before I go, like always, I do have y'all's cup of positivity for the day, and today's quote is, always believe that something wonderful is about to happen. That is all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. I definitely want to do it again, and I will let you guys know. It'll be a while, but I'll let you guys know in the YouTube community tab again when I want to do another one and do it live. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and if you all have any questions, please feel free to comment. Don't forget to subscribe, be kind, love one another, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!